welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm going to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. I am not drinking anything because your girl is busy. Your girl ran in and got right to work. Did not stop. Came in and started working on this here podcast and other podcasts that I had to take care of. But so I didn't get anything to drink. But what I do have is the most important thing, and that's my cup mug. And here, ooh, we do have a panel full of cup mugs. A panel full of cup mugs. Wah, 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 mm, mm. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. You can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at LanaJamesCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch, period. And I might go get me something to drink while everybody else is doing their intro.
Well, to be the resident time killer while Lana is away getting her drink. Hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel, and in a new place, in brand new cars, and in brand new ditches. This episode was a mess. And I had water, but I already drank it all. So I'm going to pass it to Brandon while I get more water.
As we kill more time, I am Brandon, professional fangirl of Constant Dragon video games. As always, I'm drinking water out of my Stanley, and yes, I'm still enjoying my lead, but also I'm one with the hay, because, you know.
Well, hello guys, it's your favorite black queer content creator, KaMorian, aka Sparkling Alien. I did pour some nice sparkling ice water, orange mango, sugar, in this nice little ice cup right here. And I'm so excited to talk about, this next episode. We are in Bulgaria. We finally made it to Europe. And also want to wish everyone here a happy Easter weekend. Enjoy your Easter. Get some Easter eggs, Easter bashes, some chocolate, dress in your nice, finest clothes. Sunday morning, look nice, Have a good Easter weekend to you guys. From the cup.
It's Holy Week, so
Holy week.
It is, and there's a lot of things going down on this Holy Week. We've had finales. We've got more finales coming up. We got people leaving, people getting lost. Things happening on this Holy Week, and I say I'm here for it. I'm here for it all. Whew. Running to the kitchens made me tired. I listened to Rand. But anyway, we are here to talk The Amazing Race, episode 7. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff went down in this episode, and we're going to talk all about it. But before we do, I'm going to say, hey, you guys, we're on a mission here at the Cup TV. And we would love for you to help us out with our mission, not just here at the Cup TV, but across all 4 of our channels across the network. We are trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. We have been working really hard, especially here on the TV channel. I'm going to speak for the TV channel because that's where I live, apparently, is in the TV channel. So we've been working really hard, pumping out a lot of content, giving you content after content after content. And we would love for you to just help us out by subscribing. That's all we need you to do. Just hit that button below, click it, and then you can go follow all of our other channels if you're a fan of Drag Race or Drag. The finale's coming up for Drag Race season 17 tomorrow. So we got content coming for you there. So if you're a fan of Drag Race, you want to go to at the Cup Pod and click on that subscribe channel link, whatever. If you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, which is in the thick of it right now on the ESC channel, content coming out the wazoo. We have boots on the ground in there talking to a lot of the participants in this year's Eurovision competition. So interviews are coming your way, so you don't want to miss that. So check out that channel at the Cup ESC. And it's WrestleMania season. It's WrestleMania week. This weekend is WrestleMania, so at the Cup ringside is pumping out content for you as well. So if you're a fan of WWE wrestling, if you're ready for WrestleMania, which if you're a wrestling fan, you definitely are ready for WrestleMania, at the Cup ringside is the place you want to be. Click on that, hit the link, subscribe to all of the channels, help us out, give us 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year so we can unlock a lot of fun things that we can do here on the channels. Thank you very much. Also, our audio podcast links are in the description below, so you can click on that if you need to check us out on the go. Our Patreon is down there as well if you need to see, if you want to see exclusive content, behind the scenes things, and early access, all of those things, those links are in the description below. So we left Dubai and we're finally in Europe. We flew to Bulgaria and everybody's so excited. We're going to Bulgaria for the first time in Amazing Race history. We're in Bulgaria. We've never been there before. So I was excited. I'm like, cool. This is something. This is something that we haven't got to do. And so everybody is going to Bulgaria and they have to make their way to Sofia, Bulgaria. And upon arrival, the team had to search the airport for a car for their next clue. This is the first car, their self-driving leg of the race. And a lot of people are nervous about driving in a new country and stick shifts and how to pull this off. We saw foolishness was starting to happen even before people got out the deck of
Oh,
the
oh my
airport.
god.
Oh my God. Brett and Mark hit. Was it Brett and Mark that hit them, or somebody
I
hit
think
I think it was Han
somebody?
and Holden.
I think it was Han and Holden who hit Brett and Mark.
Yeah, they got hit, and it's just like craziness. Mark jumps out to go help Han because Han and Holden switches places at the same time. Mark decides to go help them to show them how to get out of reverse and how to move so they can get out of there. So already craziness happening at the airport in the parking deck. But some people had no
Hmm.
problem getting out. Some people had some issues getting out. But once they did get out of the airport, they had to travel to the village square of Negashevo to find their next. And once they got to Nagashevo, the teams had to deliver 3 crates of apples to the Kakari to a Kakari ritual before receiving the next clue. Now, just getting 3 barrels of apples shouldn't be difficult. It's just it said load the apples in the cart and then carry the last crate. That seems simple enough. But to Jonathan and Anna, that meant put the crates in the barrel and then take the barrel with. I was like, no, my loves, load the barrel. Like, it would have been easier if they didn't have the crates in there because he was losing apples left and right. But
Literally.
this apples was just rolling all over the place. The goats enjoyed that because the goats got all these free apples. But that was not the challenge at this moment in time. It wasn't to feed the goats, but I guess it didn't matter completely how you got the apples there, as long as you got the apples and you laid them on the altar at this ceremony that was going that was very loud, and I loved it.
Mhm.
I was like, look at all these hairy beasts just dancing around. Their hair had hangers and it was flowing. Somebody had a silk press because that boo was whoosh, it was moving.
I I almost thought that both of them would have to been in those hair costumes. I'll be
Oh,
honest.
I would have loved if they would have had to get in the hairy costumes, honestly. I think that would have made I would have rather them get in that and dance around and go get the apples and run to the creeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, me personally. But um after they got that, there was a lot of route infos in this leg of the race, I will say. A
Mhm.
lot of route infos. Once they did get their apples and they got the clue, then they had to drive themselves to Osatua's village library and search for their next clue amongst the books. I mean, I'm trying to think. It really wasn't a lot that happened with the crates. Everybody just really did the crates thing. We did see Jack and Carson get very lost before we get to here.
Very lost.
Very lost because um Jack can't read a map, and yeah, Jack can't read a map, and he can't tell Carson where to go. Other people get lost. We see Nick and Mike get lost around this time, and certain people don't know how to read maps. And that is my biggest pet peeve. I know I've said it, and I know y'all probably tired of hearing me say it on this here show. But if you're going on Amazing Race, please, please, for the love of God, learn to read a freaking map. Learn to read a map. I look, and I'm gonna say I'm very old. I know you young people don't know what it's like to not have GPS on your phones, and you don't know anything other than Google. Tell me how to get to where I'm going, Google Maps and Siri Maps and all these other things. There's a certain thing, it's a book called an atlas, and books with maps in them. Just pick it up, open it up, learn to get from one location to the next, reading the map. You look at you put your finger on where you are. You say, okay, I'm here and I need to get to here. And they got these numbers on there that has interstates and highway numbers on them and all those little things, and west and east and north and south. All those things are on the map. Learn to read the map, people. Just learn to read a map. I just somebody learn to drive stick. And somebody learn to read a map. Perfect too.
You would really think, but no, these are just common issues that are going to come up on the race forever and ever. Just like people don't know how to sew on Drag Race, like it's just gonna be one of those things that you just have to note of, like, people just don't know how to do this.
I can't sail on Drag Race. I can't swim on Survivor. I can't read a map on Amazing Race. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why? Why did you apply for the show? Just don't. Oh, yeah, what y'all thinking? Because this is wild.
I mean, considering the fact that Jack and Carson was an hour and a half away from where they were supposed to be, so it took them 3 hours in total to go back to where they came from to be able to go where they were supposed to go. It's like, again, 3 hours. Again,
3.
3 whole hours is insanity. Like,
I
I
was
genuinely don't know how you go that far in the wrong direction.
I said, oh, these boys are gone. They have lost it. They have just lost this race. 3 hours away from where they're done.
It's over.
We could just go and call it right now. It's over. We're done. Let it go.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, they even said that because they live in New York City, they don't even have to drive a car. So,
and they don't have people around them that drive a car. But baby, I don't drive a car either. And I was like, what that mean? I have never driven a car in my entire life. I'm 45 years old and I have not driven a car, but I do know how to read a map. If you put me in a car with
yeah.
somebody and say, hey, how do I get from this place to this place? And the internet's down and we can't use our GPS. I'm pulling out the map and I'm gonna get us from you do this, and we get on I-20, we get on this, we get on that, and we stay west and we stay there too. Baby, I'm the person, like I'm the person who go get us to where we go without no I don't need GPS. Just give me the map, give me time to look at it. Like I'm not the person, we're not gonna get the clue and run off. I'm gonna get the clue, read it, where we gotta go. Okay, let's map this out. Because I would rather take a few minutes before to map it out instead of getting in the car,
And then
don't know
drive
where
the
I'm
right way.
going, and still trying to figure out with the paper. Like, oh my God, I can't. This paper's so big. I don't know what to see. Oh, I can't see. What's that highway sign? By the time I'm looking for the highway sign, we didn't pass it. So I'm like, I would rather map it out. Be like, okay, we need to be on this road, and we need to stay on this road for until we see this street or this mark or it. I'm built for Amazing Race, just not physically, not there yet.
Fair, yeah.
All right, but so we do see. What I do? Okay, we do see them After they get to the library and get their clue, some people find it quicker than others, but pretty much everybody finds their clue.
Mhm.
The teams have to go to their detour, and they have to choose between haystack and woodstock. Woodstack. I said woodstock. Yep, I did. Woodstack and haystack. For haystack, you had to find a red and white piece of yarn called a hmm, martinitza, martinitza, which they could exchange for the next. So you had to find that in the stack of hay. And baby, these haystacks were huge. Whole haystacks, just like huge haystacks. And then the wood stack, you had to transport 200 kilograms of firewood using the wheelbarrow and a backpack to a home before receiving the next clue. Now, okay, I don't know about y'all, but I instantly got mad for a second when they said Woodstack was the next detour. Because for a second I was like, oh, this would have been perfect for Pops and Jeff.
Yep.
Like they would have been, I thought it was they had to
Mhm.
chop the wood. And I was like, oh, this would have
Uh,
been perfect. But then I was like, oh, this is carrying wood. Never mind. This is fine for everybody.
I
Mhm.
would still argue that this is 100% up their alley. They know how to stack
Yeah.
wood effectively,
Yes.
and they're used to carrying a lot of stuff. So
Yes.
this 100% have been their leg.
They would have been
Literally.
they would have ate it up. And I would have been like,
Mhm.
yes.
Like they probably would have done it in 2 trips instead of three.
Three.
So
Yeah.
Oh,
Literally.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Because they would have been able to stack up as much as they can in that backpack, and Jeff would have carried the backpack, and Pops would have been on the real barrel, and they would have had been able to, like you say, effectively stack the wood in the log wood barrel, whatever.
Mhm.
mhm.
But we did see in the haystack only three teams attempted it at first. Was Alyssa and Josiah, Jonathan and Anna, and Melinda and Erica. Now, before we get to this detour, some other things happened because wait, was this before? Nope, this was after. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. That was after. That was after. Um, so Jonathan and Anna gets there first. Then Alyssa and Josiah comes in after they did. But Jonathan, oh Jonathan,
Mm,
oh Jonathan, this man, this man, this man,
we
this
had
man.
such a good leg, and
Oh,
then we're right back to where we were.
Really, like I don't understand. Like the thing is, he is he was like, oh, we have such the worst luck out of anybody. Like you are manifesting for it to happen, to happen bad. Like you are literally just putting it into the atmosphere. Literally like, oh my god, like oh, we have like the worst luck. Da da da. And I literally found what they needed for that for the haystack, literally, and like just complaining and not at least being a team player and helping out. It's like you bring us on with this negativity, you keep on saying it, it's gonna happen, and eventually it did happen. You putting your like the atmosphere happened and it just happened. And guess what? When you got to that car, tried to pull that car, you got stuck in the ditch. Literally, that was your karma right there. Just like stop the negativity. Be there for Anna. Anna is pulling her weight every time, and she had to deal with that. Pull her weight with your negative energy. It's like it's not gonna work. You gotta stop doing that and just try.
I mean, like
Stop giving
drink.
up.
I was so annoyed. Like, how many times did he have to say, "Oh, you messed up. You picked the wrong detour." Oh, I'm like, if you wanted to pick the other detour, you should have said something. Why you
Exactly.
Uh,
didn't say anything? Why didn't you fight and say, "Hey, I don't think we should do this one because I think we can do the physical one better." You didn't fight for it. You didn't do anything. You didn't say anything. But you mad because she chose it and it's not what you wanted to do. If that wasn't what you wanted to do, you should have said something. A closed mouth don't get fed. So why you sitting here talk not saying anything? But then when you get there, the whole time you're like, oh, we picked the wrong one. Oh, this isn't the right thing. Oh, we should have picked something else. Bruh. Say it one
uh,
more time. Say it one more time. I would have been so
so
fed up with
exhausted.
Anna. She is so much better than me. She is so much better than me because I would have been like, either you shut your mouth or walk away. I'll find it my doggone self. Like, because you really pissing me off. And she, like you said, Kamora, she found it. She put in the work because you just throwing stuff. You're not even searching. You just throwing the hay. You just oh, this
Complaining all day long.
man. Complain, 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 complain. And then when
Nothing
she
but
finds it,
complaining.
and then when she finds it, you overshot the parking. You got y'all stuck in a ditch. And now you like all the luck that we have. Oh no, you
You
did
did
that
it. You
because you want to
did
blame her for her mistakes when you say she picked the wrong detour and she did this wrong. Guess what? You did this. You got us stuck. Now you take the blame. What are you gonna do about it? I just this man.
It's
But I
just so
go ahead.
much. It's
Uh,
so much. And I mean, literally, he is not even slightly searching. He's literally just screaming at the stack and hoping it fixes itself. Like, it is
it.
exhausting to watch. Of just like, this woman is basically doing the detour by herself.
Basically.
you are such a man, baby. Like,
Mhm.
calm down. Like, ugh, drive me nuts. But
Uh,
Josiah and Alyssa finds it pretty easily, really quickly, which I'm like, work. Hey, I'm liking them a whole lot more and more every week. I'm liking Josiah and Alyssa. They are becoming, they moving up in the rankings for me. Like they are in my top three, and I'm like, whew, I just
Mhm.
like them.
mhm,
So they make it to the finale. I'm not mad. The girl's not mad at that,
mhm.
but they find theirs pretty quickly, and the man baby started going off again when he saw that. He was like, "Oh, the worst luck we have. Oh my god, oh my god." And Anna's like, "Found it," and he's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like,
Oh, whatever.
"Whatever, man."
Great, I can go
So
complain somewhere else now. I needed
exactly.
to change the scenery to like get more things to complain about.
Like, oh my
Uh,
goodness.
this is just crazy. So in that same time, we see Brett and Mark going to the Woodstack, and they're doing it pretty quickly. We see a little bit of Brett like, okay, hold on, slow down, give me a second. Mark is like, come on, come on, come on. He's like, hold on, I said 1 second. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He's like, okay, okay, but they push through and they do it really pretty quickly as well. They do it really quickly, and so we see them leaving the detour at the same time we see Anna and Jonathan stuck in the dirt. And so they actually stopped to try to help them. They're like, "We'll help you for a little bit, but then we gotta go." And I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, that was nice of them because
that would have been
not a
me.
lot of teams. It wouldn't have been me. I would have
Would
been
have been
like,
me.
I'd
Be
have been
like,
like,
all
It's
right,
like,
good luck.
oh, that
Be like,
sucks.
okay,
"Oh,
all right,
that
good luck with
sucks.
that.
I'm so sorry. See y'all later. Hope y'all get out." I'm not stopping. Not on a race for $1 million. I'm not doing that.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
they we see them help for a minute, but then they were like they couldn't get it out. Eventually, the people of the town got a rope and pulled the car out of the ditch for them, so they were back on the road.
mhm,
Um, and then we see that it is a double U-turn ahead. Ooh. Once you leave the seats,
Mhm.
it's a double U-turn, and we see Josiah and Alyssa get there first, and they were like, "We choose not to detour to double U-turn anybody." They move on. Brett and Mark not to, they chose
mhm.
not to do it. Everybody's like, "Nah, we not finna do that. I don't want no blood on my hands." Jonathan and Anna was like, "Absolutely not again. We not doing that. We gonna leave that alone. We gonna leave that alone." So they didn't do it. Then we see Melinda and Erica has to choose. They chose the needle in the haystack, but we see Holden and Han and Nick and Mike choose the wood stack. Those are the last three. Look, those are the last three teams, the last three teams at the detour to do this. And so we see Melinda and Erica like, we not doing this Woodstack thing because physical stuff. No, Melinda knees already hurting. She like, nah, I can't do it. So they doing the haystack and they picking, they picking, they picking. They end up finding it eventually. As soon as the same time Mike and Nick finish up their wood stack, they do theirs in two trip or three
They
two
did in 3.
three
Right.
I
trips.
did 3,
Yeah,
yeah.
Holden and Han end up doing it in three trips as well for the wood stack. But it came down to literally a foot race for Melinda and Erica
Mhm.
and Nick and Mike to get to this church so they could decide if they were going to use the U-turn. And Melinda and Erica are like, we got to U-turn them because we can't beat them in a foot race if the pit stop is next and we don't want, we don't want to have to do that. Da 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 da. And I'm like, but ain't no roadblocks happened yet, y'all. It's still a roadblock ahead. We still got to do a roadblock. But they were like, nope, nope.
Nope, we got to do it.
We need to
Just
do
get
it.
some pace.
Yeah.
We got to get it and get them behind, get them off us. And so Melinda Erica gets to the clue first, and they U-turn Nick and Mike. And Nick and Mike are right behind them and like, oh well, we got to U-turn Han and hold it in because they right behind us.
Mm.
And we got to get everybody got to get it.
Mhm.
Nobody realizing that Jack and Carson had never even showed up to the place because
Wow.
Yeah.
they think either they're so far ahead of them that they already finished it and gone. They just did not think that
Yeah,
Jack and
little
Carson
did they
were going
know
to
they
show
were
up.
still behind. They
Behind
even did
They were
the first.
considerably
They
behind.
didn't even get to
Mhm.
the apples yet.
Yep.
It was wild. So I was like, oh no. So Nick and Mike and Holden and Han are now U-turn. So now they have to go back and do the haystack. And oh my God. After doing that grueling wood stack thing, now they have to go out and try to find this little ribbon in this hay. And this became so funny to me. Watching Nick and Mike, watching Mike literally just grabbing hay and throwing it, just grabbing hay and throwing it, not
Oh, yeah,
sifting,
y'all.
not
Not
moving it, not looking. This man's just saying, "Wham." I was like, sir,
oh
how see you the kind of see he the kind of dude I know. And look, if your wife, Mike, if your wife is listening to me, I need her to get in touch with me because I know you the kind of
oh
man.
my god.
And I need her to get in touch with me because I need to tell because I know she gonna tell me the truth. He the kind of man to be like, honey, where's my red shirt? And you say it's right in the room in the pile, right on this on it's right in the room on top of the hamper. And he go in the room and say, I don't see it. And she say, if you move a few things, you'll see it. And he go in and throw the whole hamper around. He don't look, he don't see it. And he be like, baby, I don't see the red shirt. I don't see the red shirt. And she got to get up, walk into that room and go, here's the red shirt right here. What were you looking at? I thought you meant it
Oh.
was over. Yeah,
No.
he is that type of dude. We already know he don't do his own laundry because they've already admitted
I
that.
was gonna say, I was just
Yeah,
like,
he
this,
don't
They
do
this
have
feels like
already
anything.
admitted they don't
laundry.
do their own laundry.
We already got that. So I know that man don't know how to look for nothing properly. When the wife tell him go look for it, it's in the room under in the closet under that box. He'll go in that box and he'll look like don't see it. Baby, I don't see it. Baby, I don't see it. And she got to come in and find it for him. I know he that type of dude. He that type of dude. You can't convince me otherwise. But
Mm.
either way, he was throwing that hay around like he was looking for a big old, like the it was gonna be so obvious. Like it wasn't a ribbon that they were looking for. He thought he was looking for a pendant that big.
Mm-mm-mm.
It was ridiculous.
We thought that they learned after they were so impatient with that crane.
Oh,
Oh my
Because
god.
No.
Yes.
when Han and Holden was doing this, they were actually just taking their time. So, like, again, because again, both of them were struggled with the crane when they were in Kyoto.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then now Holland Holden, they're like, they knew that they had to like keep their patience, which they did, and they were
Mm-hmm.
able to get it before Nick and Mike did.
Way before Nick and Mike did.
Ray.
Way before. Now, go ahead. Come
'Cause
on.
I believe, am I correct? I think they went through 3 haystacks. If I was
Yes.
Yes.
3 of them.
And Holland Holden were only on their one.
I think,
it was bad.
yeah, it was bad because Josiah and Alyssa went through 1 haystack. Jonathan and Anna went through 2 haystacks. Um, Han and Holden went through 2. Uh, and they went through 3. I was like, what were
You went
y'all?
through 3 stacks and you couldn't find one?
One. And y'all, these cameramen, y'all so dirty. Y'all so dirty, the cameraman. Not the cameraman, finding it, pointing it
Just
out to us. Is right there, and they are all the way over there. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if I'm on a show and I see a cameraman who's supposed to be following me all the way behind me and not following me, I'm be like, what you looking at over there? Because you supposed to be following me, and you back here looking at what you looking at. And I'm gonna start going back and see what. Hold on, the cameraman was about right here, so maybe it's a. You gotta think like that in games like this because if the
uh,
cameraman is supposed to be following you and he's no longer following you, you all the way up there, and the cameraman is back here.
something's wrong.
Something's
No.
Yeah.
afoot.
But also, they make like a full haystack like layer that's like maybe 2 to 3 inches thick, like 10 feet wide, like full circumference. It's crazy.
I'm like,
Why?
you get all that. That was
And that
insane.
shot where you can tell Nick and Mike were still looking. They were so far out. Again, the camera crew had time to like show them where it's supposed to be.
And they're
And
all in the
they're
back.
still all the way out there.
It was so wild. The funniest thing, seeing the poor man who had to sit there and watch them do this. That man got on the ground. He was laid out. He was
Yeah, that
stretched
judge
out.
was like,
He's like, come on, dude, find a
he's like,
dang ribbon
I
so
got
I
all
can go
day. I got
home.
all day.
He's like, they paying me regardless how long y'all find it, but I really do would like this to wrap it up. I'm sure he didn't expect to spend 6 hours out there
Yeah, 6
with these
hours.
people. Like it was crazy. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, y'all, because everybody else is moving on. As we know, look, I'm finna let's just wrap it. We do have a sheep milk challenge. In the roadblock is the sheep. It's called uh who, who who ready to fill her up? Yeah, who ready to fill her up? Who ready? So you had to milk a sheep. You had to get enough milk to get to a particular place in this thing, and then they give you a bowl of yogurt, sheep from Bulgarian yogurt, with a 102-year-old woman who that's what she eat every day, and they saying that is the secret to life, to longevity, is to eat this yogurt. And I was like, well, somebody give me some of this yogurt then, please, because
Mhm.
hello. Um, and they had to eat the bowl of yogurt, didn't get the rest of the pit stop. Great. Josiah and Alyssa was way ahead of everybody. They get to the pit stop
It
first.
done.
It's
And
like
good for them.
good
Good
for
for them.
them. And they get a
Mhm.
vacation to Morocco. I'm like, work,
Wow.
beautiful, beautiful. All that is beautiful. We see them get their first. We see Brett and Mark come in. Like everybody's coming in. Everybody who you think is going to come in is coming in, except for the people who ain't. So Brett and Mark come in second. Jonathan and Anna come in third. Uh, Melinda, no, Han and Holden comes in fourth,
Mhm.
and Melinda Erica comes in fifth. So
Mhm.
Nick and Mike are still on this course. This is what I want to
Mhm.
get back to. Nick and Mike. I know we sped through the ending because it really wasn't that exciting. It just wasn't that
We're
exciting.
we're giving a 102-year-old yogurt.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, that is a concept for a leg. Sounds like something out of 30 Rock.
Right.
Not 30 Rock.
But I will say there was
It's a
some.
ridiculous concept.
But I will say that there was some funny moments though. 'Cause I remember like I think when Mike was like when he found out he had to milk a sheep, Mike's reaction had
Mark.
me Mark's had me cackling up and down, and then Han trying to milk the sheep, and it was just squirting everywhere. I think the sheep kind of like pooped on his hand. It was like hold on, wait. Can I clean my hands real quick? I got like poop in my hand from he ate the yogurt.
He didn't want to eat the yogurt with the poop. I'm like, I get it, but you're holding a spoon, so you're not gonna get
Yeah,
poop in your
but
mouth if you're not.
I understand though.
But I get it. I
Yes.
get it. I understand because that's kind of gross. Yeah, we did see a couple of little squirts all over the place. Han was covered in sheep's milk. I was like, dude, really? Okay. But we get back to Nick and Mike in this field. They ready to give up. They ready to do a penalty at this point. They like, oh, we I don't what do we do? Do we take the penalty? Do we I was like, you want a 4-hour penalty? That's crazy. Because that's how much the penalty is. That's wild. But they had already been there for so long and it's hot. It's hot,
I'm
they're
pretty sure they were
tired.
there for 4 hours there.
Right. They were hot, they were tired. They was like, oh, we already did one half of this detour. And all of a sudden, here comes Jack and Carson out of nowhere. Oh God,
You know you screwed up if someone is arriving to the detour now and they're like,
and you've been there for 4 hours,
Literally.
and they are just
"Oh."
now getting there, and they're like, "Oh my God!" So now Jack and Carson are like, they have come to the acceptance that this is probably their last leg. We're just gonna enjoy this leg and finish the stuff that we can and go see Phil at the mat and go on home. We're gonna enjoy this, and it's gonna be fine. They get to the detour and they see Nick and Mike, and they're like, "Oh, all hope is not lost." And it just rejuvenates this fire under Jack and Carson. Now they like, we got to go. First they would go do haystack, and they like, um,
Well, y'all have been here for 4 hours.
4 hours.
No.
We're gonna go. We're just gonna go and do that other one. We're just gonna get up. Yeah, we're gonna go. See y'all later. And it's like, so now they're like, we're gonna go do the Woodstack, and they doing it. Jack is having a little bit of a hard time because it's heavy. I get it, because that would be me. But I'd be like, look here, I'm gonna take my time. If we go do this, let's just take our time. Let's get it done right and get there. But they have, they get it once they get over the initial shock of how heavy these wood blocks are and how long they have to travel to get to the man to measure it. They start getting in the groove. They're like, okay, all right, let's get it. We got this fire. Let's do it. Let's do it. And they getting it. They are getting it. And Nick and Mike are still just kicking around hay. They just kicking it around at this point because they had nothing to grab because they didn't already flatten all of the hay that they could
But
flatten.
here's the thing, though. There was still like 4 stacks still available.
But they can only do 3.
Oh, true.
Yeah, they could only go to 3 like those are the only 3 that was, for them. They couldn't go past 3. So it had to be in one of those 3. And they just kicking this day around. First of all,
Oh.
oh, so sad. I felt bad. I felt a little bit bad for them because I was like, man, this is tough. But they kicking it around and they seeing Jack and Carson run back and forth with these
And they're
wood
like,
things. And they
they're like,
like, when they get back on their third round and put their last few wood things and they see them running, Jack and Carson are convinced it's a double U-turn ahead and we probably go have to do this other detour. We probably go have to do it.
mhm.
So it might still be over for us, but whatever it is, we just gonna go and do it. We're gonna stick to the gun. Just go do it. Whenever they ran to that U-turn sign and was like, "It's not us.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not
Wow,
us."
we win? What the fuck? That's not how
Did
that
I?
should work. We should be
What?
gone. There's no reason we should still be in this race.
Mhm.
To be
And
real
again,
honest with
they
you.
had no idea that they were like way behind.
Mm-hmm.
And the people like Melinda, all of the last three teams, well, Melinda, Han Holder, Melinda, Erica, and Nick and Mike had no idea where they were. And I was like, ooh, that kind of worked out for their benefit that they did not know how far behind they were. Because if they would have known that, surely they would have stuck that detour on
Oh,
them.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, you stick that
Mm-hmm.
detour on them. But they had no idea. And so they just, it was wild. And to see the emotion and the hope, or not even hope, the relief on their face when they realized that they were not U-turn, it was like pure joy. Like pure joy. I love that for them. And I'm not the hugest fan of Jack and Carson in this race. I think they're no, I think they're great. I think they're great people. I have my issues with them because I'm like, y'all don't know how to read a map. This is your own fault. If they went home, if they went home, they just go
If
home
they went
because you
home,
don't know how to run math.
very
Yeah.
deserved.
It would have been
Like,
deserved.
very.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they did not have the U-turn, they could just go right to the roadblock. They did their road, like it got to the point where the editors was like, "We not even finna show everything. We go show them at the roadblock. We go show him squirting about two things of milk into this can, scroop scroop. Then we go show him eating the yogurt for a minute. We go show him eating one bite of yogurt, and then we go show them at the mat. Like it was so quick. It was so quick.
And we usually see this crossfade for the last team like to arrive at the
Hmm
pit stop, and which they were because
Yeah, they were the last team, but this other team didn't quite make it to the mat. And so the mat had to come to them. And when I say the mat, I mean Phil. Phil had to leave the beautiful Bulgarian woman in her nice costume. She looks so pretty. She looks so pretty. But he had to leave the nice little pit stop that they had, which was, by the way, let me check what that was. That pit stop was the Ellen Pellin statue. Yeah,
Yes.
Ellen Pellin statue. And that's what the pit stop was. But Nick and Mike never saw the Ellen Pellin statue. They got released right in the middle of said field where they still had not found the ribbon. That whole farmer was just laying on the haystack now. He's just like, I'm ready to go. How
Like,
long?
I was supposed to leave like 5 hours ago. Y'all are paying
Right.
me time and a half. Not even time and a half, double time at this point.
I need
Like,
double time. Like that poor man, he had to sit out in that heat in that sun all that time, waiting on them to find this ribbon, and they never found it. Brandon, I think you had the stat of when the last time Phil had to
yeah.
come
So
to the.
I looked it up. The last time that happened was in season 27.
ouch.
Yep. No, but here's the funny thing. So with this haystack challenge, it reminded me of the hay challenge where they had to
Roll it. Yep.
roll it, and this team took 13 hours, and it was 2 in the morning, and Phil had to go to them, and this was a roadblock too for this last one. So the fact that this was a detour and this took them 6 hours, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I would have just been done at this point. I'm like, yeah.
you can see the time go on because it went from clear skies, you can see the clouds now, and it's like, oh, damn, okay.
I was just waiting to see the sun go down. That's what I was waiting. I was like,
Yeah, I was
waiting.
waiting. I was waiting for the
down.
sunset. I was really waiting for the sunset.
But
oh my god.
oh, well, let me. I forgot to put up the. We have to say goodbye to Nick and Mike because they
Just collapsed on the flag.
just collapsed. I wish they would have collapsed the last leg, but they collapsed this leg instead. Any other thoughts about Nick and Mike?
So here's the thing. So when Melinda and Erica had to U-turn them, honestly, that was the best decision they could have made.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Honestly, because after the last leg where literally Nick and Mike ran to the pit stop to beat Pops and Jeff, like they had to do it. Yes, Melinda and Erica felt bad. However, like honestly, that was the one move that saved you from this race.
Mm-hmm.
So
I will also note that Han and Holden, who were U-turned by Nick and Mike, beat Melinda and Erica. So, like, even in retrospect, 100%, this was a game-saving move for them.
No, it was
Excluding
not.
Chris and Jack
No, it was not.
being there.
I'm about to say it was not. Because if they would have chose not to U-turn Mike and Nick, and Mike and Nick chose not to U-turn Han and Holden, they all would have still been there, and Jack and Carson would
Yeah,
have went
that's
home.
true.
But they did not know where Jack and Carson were
Yeah, they
at the
know.
time. So it made sense for them to do what they did, but they had,
Yeah.
if they wouldn't have done it, they
Mhm.
still would have been in the game, and they still would have, I mean, I don't know if, which was crazy that Nick and Han and Holden beat Melinda and Erica, who
well,
also
because
were
Melinda
U-turned
and
because they
Erica
got
got
lost.
lost.
Got lives.
And so again, I'm like, y'all, what are we getting lost for?
But I will say, I kind of felt Nick is Mike's like time on the show is like coming to the end. I feel like pretty much the whole time they kind of really been in the bottom tier, pretty much, and they kind of like almost surviving every episode, like especially like this episode, pretty much, and last week's episode. So it was kind of like they don't really kind of like get it like their shot together, not really be like one accord, and then it was kind of like boom, and
The
still,
writing
like
was on the wall.
the writing's on the wall eventually. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, it was just, I think it was your time to go.
It was their time, and unfortunately, that also meant that Jack, it is your time to go as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, realistically, I should have gone last episode. It was just a matter of time, honestly.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I hate that for you, Jack. I said, not Jack, get the last two, and we just did it. And then the week after you say, yes, I'll take these two, they go quickly. But this is very interesting leading into this next leg of the race where everybody has two teams left besides Jack.
I
And
mean, to be honest with you, we nearly lost a second team that a lot of people bet were going to make it very far. So this is a good race. I really don't. I
it
don't
could go
know who they're
either
gonna lose.
way.
Everything goes.
I know that. I'll be honest. Like this next like elimination, it's gonna be like nail biting. We don't know what's going to happen because what we saw next week, because they're staying in Bulgaria.
Yes.
The express pass is back up for grabs.
And they tricked us. They tricked
did.
us.
Yeah, it was so weird. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna walk over fire." That's so crazy. When that's not even this episode.
Right. I was like, what do you mean? We didn't see. I was waiting for the fire. I'm like, where's the fire? Who's on fire? Are they all walking across fire? Is that a roadblock or what is this? And we saw no fire. And I was like, what? Then it shade.
Well, we didn't start the fire.
No, we did. It was always burning, Brandon. It was always burning.
Exactly.
And the world's been turning. But we get that teaser for next week. So I'm like, did y'all just put out the wrong episode a week before?
Well, again, they teased that they're going to be in Bulgaria, so but they didn't know which how it was going to edit in that way. So, hey,
my thing is, why y'all put out the teaser of a fire walking and we wasn't getting no fire walking this week? Y'all edged me. I was like, where's the fire walking? Because spoiler alert, I ain't walking across no fire. If I
no, that's a little much.
Yeah,
much.
I mean, if I do it once, yes, but
I mean, granted, to be able to basically, because it is a relatively short thing, and to be able to then just skip probably one of the next two challenges because they're getting it at final six and like realistically can only be used during final 5 or final 4. Like in that case, I actually do see it as really valuable.
I mean, it's valuable.
Almost any other chance. No, probably not.
But who would you think
Yeah.
would actually do it though? Who think would actually complete this task?
It's going to be the first people to get through, get out, who gets to the express pass, right? Like we usually see. Which, if we going by what the
If it's
logic is,
if it's based off the last one where
it's gonna
both
either
people have
be,
to complete it. So
yeah. But and if that's the case, it's going to either be Alyssa and Josiah, Brett and Mark, or Jonathan and Anna. One of the three of those teams are going to leave first and get the first shot at trying to go for the express pass. Now, who do I think will realistically do it? I think between Josiah, Alyssa, and Brett and Mark.
I personally think Brett and Mark. I think Brett and Mark. Like Brett, like he's certain to he's fine. Like I think he's like everything he's done. Like I think Brett would do it pretty well. I think Mark might be kind of scared, but I think Brett is more like out there. Like he does like
I
all
feel
this
like
stuff.
Mark could do it no problem.
Mhm.
Too.
I think they'll go for it.
Yeah.
This is all who has the opportunity to go for it. But I think between those
Yeah.
two teams, one of them two teams are going to go for it,
Mhm.
and you have to go for it at that point if you're in first place or you get to the chance to do it. You have to go for it, like you said, Jake. When you use it, it can be one of those things that can catapult you into the final four of this race, and
Yeah.
so you got to go for it at that point.
You just gotta go for it.
Mhm.
You got to
Yeah.
go
I
for it.
mean,
I want
cannot
to rewind a little bit because when Mark found out that he had to do this roadblock and found out he had to touch an udder, literally in the confessional when he said, "You wouldn't catch me touching an animal like for this," I was just like, "Well, you chose to do it, so."
I mean, yeah. KaMorian mentioned that for a minute about how funny
And
that
then
was.
remember I actually and then cut the bread. It's like Brett was like I was gonna do this either. So I was gonna do it either. So Mark, go do it for me. Brett's like no, I wasn't doing this. No.
I mean, it's just an udder. Just touch it. As much as, and I'm not an animal person. I hate animals, but it's just an udder. Just go and squeeze the tit, and go on.
Mhm.
Well, but from what we saw from Holden, it's not as easy as it looks. You can
Mhm.
get milk everywhere, but that is that, y'all. We do have our final six teams, and like this could go either way. This could go. This episode showed me that the mighty can always fall, and the people who you're not looking at can rise to the top.
Mhm.
Um, Anybody can switch places at any time in this race, so I'm not sure. I who can win. I'm. This is an open race.
One bad leg shoots a team that was in a very clear first place all the way to the bottom.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
this race is very twisted, and
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
really
Phil
don't know
said
who's
this is
won.
one of the most competitive seasons he's ever seen. So, and I kind of
Yes.
agree with that
I
because like
agree.
we
And you
we
know
didn't.
what?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we didn't expect how this leg was going to turn out. So,
No, and you know what? At first, I was like, "Well, we could have a great equalizer." They're staying in Bulgaria, so usually when they
Mhm.
stay in the city, there's no big great equalizer. It's like
Mhm.
the airport is usually the equalizer. Like we saw
Mhm.
Mhm.
them coming from Dubai here, everybody was on the same plane. There's no big equalizer unless there's an overnight thing where everybody has to stop and do it. But I don't think there is one in this next leg.
I don't
So
think so either.
I
Jack
doubt
and
there is
Carson, Jack and Carson is going to have a
a lot of catching up
lot,
to
a
do.
a
lot of
lot
work
of
cut out
catching
for
up to
them.
do.
Mhm.
So child, I don't know. This is an exciting race, and I'm looking forward to it to see what happens next week. But that is that on that. We gonna get out of here because, like we said, we're hungry, and Brendan has to go to work in the morning, and Jack has to go to work, and Kamari has to go to work, and I'm just
Mhm.
I'm off
tired.
work.
Oh no, you're off work. It's Good Friday for you, so you're off work
Yes.
tomorrow, so you can sleep in. Yay!
Yeah.
Not Brandon,
Yeah.
Sorry, Brandon. Sorry.
and not Jack. So y'all go to look. This side of the panel does not have to work. That side, they gotta go to work. So we're gonna get
Money.
out of here.
Yay.
Yay for y'all. Yay for us.
Hey, I'm getting paid at least. So,
That is true. That is
Money.
true. Money. That's awesome. Okay.
uh,
We thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you spending time. If this is your first time checking us out, welcome and thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right now so we can get to 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. Help us out. We greatly appreciate you. And you can subscribe to all of our channels in the Cup Network. All those links will be in the description below in our link tree. And our audio podcast links are down there. You need to check us out on the go, as well as our Patreon to get exclusive content and early access and some fun behind the scenes things. And our socials. Join us at our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow the four of us at those same platforms. And don't forget to get your merch at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description as well. And we're going to go and work and not work. So see y'all next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Be one with the hay.